Okay. Yeah, it is.
Hi everyone, I am Ben from Trophy Rack Lodge, and I'm here with Don from Halifax, PA. He was our 2024 Zone 14 Archery Bull Hunter. Don, thanks for joining us today.
Sure, no problem.
So first off, let's start with how did it feel to get drawn, and where were you when you found out?
Well, obviously a total surprise. I was actually at a church function getting ready to scoop ice cream when I started to get calls and texts. Although in the morning I'd actually gotten a text from one of a good longtime friend that said, "Hey, I just had a dream that you got drawn for an archery bull tag." And it happened. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how long have you been putting in for the tag?
Well, the archery tag, I think it started, this is the 6th year. I've put in every year for those. On and off over the years. Ironically, I used to work for the Game Commission and worked with the elk back in the early 80s. So I applied the first couple years, and it's been a long time for the regular rifle tag. But once the archery started, I had a renewed interest. And
all right, so let's talk about, after you were drawn, I'm sure you got a lot of follow-up questions, or follow-up calls rather, of outfitters reaching out. What made you decide to go with the Trophy Rack Lodge for the hunt?
Well, there was an onslaught of guides getting in touch with me. As a matter of fact, my son lives out in California, and he was getting calls from guides because his first name is D. And it's the same
Yeah.
as mine. So he's the one that said, I keep getting calls. I'm in the middle of the desert on a camping trip in California, and I keep getting calls from outfitters. So I made some calls to some people that I knew once it looked like I had in fact been drawn. And the one, I had a friend that has worked pretty much his whole professional career with the elk, and he made the recommendation. Awesome. So I followed him up on that.
Yeah, perfect. Well, we were happy to have you, so glad you went with us. All right, so now let's talk about the hunt. And we had a very exciting first day on the hunt. We saw a couple bulls, and I'll let you tell your side of the story there, but just run us through some of your thoughts on day one, how exciting that was for you.
Well, back up the night before, we had gone out and we had heard some bulls bugling in the area, so we were pretty fired up to get in there the next morning. Very foggy morning. We were on a reclaimed strip mine right along the edge of the woods. Got a bull going, and up through the fog comes this bull. The wind was right. It couldn't really figure out what we were in the fog, and it was taking a sniff, trying to figure us out. And it got really frustrated and turned and started thrashing a hickory tree within 15 yards of us. The best part was I turned around and looked at my daughter, who was over my right shoulder, and she's behind me. Her hands were literally shaky.
Yeah. Oh,
she'd been on an elk hunt before, but never gotten that close
that
to
close
an elk.
to one.
For a second there, I thought it was big enough. Yeah. Then I was like, nah. What do you think that's? He was a 6x6. Yeah. He's still shaking. He came in quick. Oh boy, I'll say. And the wind was just right. He couldn't figure out where we were.
All right, so after day number 1, all that excitement, days 2 through 4 kind of blurred together. At least for me, the weather really wasn't cooperating with us. It was very warm. We would have liked it to be a little cooler for us, especially in those evening hunts that we had. But we heard a lot of bulls. They didn't seem to want to challenge us and come into us like we wanted them to. They weren't chasing a lot of cows, and we didn't see a lot of bulls with cows. We saw bulls, but not really a lot of cows. So just run us through your thoughts on, as the week carried on, what were you thinking and how were you feeling?
Well, yeah, we were always seeing bulls or hearing bulls, and like you said, the mornings was a little better. You could hear the animals, and it just was like so many turkey hunts that I've been on. The animal responds, don't ever even get a look at it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So it wasn't, I mean, it gets a little frustrating, but we knew we had more time, and we knew we were in areas where there were animals.
Let's hurry up here. I think we might just walk up and peek out. Yeah, see if we can see these.
how were you feeling like when we'd hear a bull but it wouldn't come in? What was running through your head, you know, when that happened a few times?
Like I said, I've been hunting a long time, and it doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
And it's just reminded me of so many turkey hunts. How did we not see that animal? How do you not see an animal that loud, that close, and you can't see him?
Yep. Yeah, one in particular, you know, one day that stuck out to me, speaking of that, was, I think it was day number 4, it was the evening hunt, and we were under a tree, you know, all huddled together, and Jacob let out a call, and it sounded like he was, you know, no more than 50 yards away from us when he answered us. You guys got up to get in position, but nothing, you know, nothing.
Don't know what happened to him.
That's right.
He
But
was, I think he was over our right shoulder. We turned,
Yep.
we thought we'd get out ahead of him, but never saw him.
All part of the hunt, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about day number 5. We kind of had to switch the plan up a little bit. You know, we were hunting that one area for the last few days. And then day number 5, you know, we talked with Jacob and decided that we were going to go back to the area where it all started on day 1. And you guys went there for the morning hunt and the evening hunt. But let's start with the morning and how that went for you. And did you feel good going into the morning hunt for that?
We did. One of the other Trophy Rack guides had seen some animals there the night before. So we went to the general area that we were the first day, and we worked 2 bulls. One came in, we could see that in the fog again, which sort of made it cool. Had that eerie look to it. It was maybe, I think the closest it came in was 120 yards.
Okay.
But was very vocal and walked away. We circled, tried to get ahead of it, and we ended up getting another bull going. We think it was a different bull. But again, heard it, couldn't believe it was that loud, never saw it.
Yeah.
So that was the morning.
Yeah.
And then we went back in the evening. We were all feeling really good because we'd run into these animals. And a little side note, my 3-year-old granddaughter had picked up acorns from the camp they were staying at and handed them to all of us. And I think we have a picture of that. Everyone, she gave double whammy. We each had 2 acorns in her hand, so we couldn't miss. Yeah. And it worked. We went right back to where it all started that first day when we had called that bull in, and we just sat there.
splattered.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I think it's back along maybe liver.
Yeah, okay.
It's back, but you saw when he was going down,
Yes.
he was
Oh,
going
he was stumbling.
He's hurt.
Yeah,
That one.
big time.
I think what we
Yes. Yes.
can we watch it?
Heck yeah, buddy.
Let's go down.
Tell him where she's at. It was nuts. You know what I did?
We'll wait till we get it.
When she came, yeah, let you go.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's not huge, but it's big. It just has all these crazy points.
What was your first thought when you saw him come out of there and you started turning on him and getting set, you know, for the shot?
I pretty much made up my mind that I had, you know, people sitting around me. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. So it was sort of a group decision, and have no regrets whatsoever.
Absolutely.
It was
Very
to
exciting.
have your family right there was awesome.
Dude, that wasn't him. Nina just found him. He's dead as a doornail.
Let's go,
Where's he
baby.
at? He's laying right there.
Oh yeah, there's a tie. I said when he ran down here, it looks like he was stumbling pretty hard. It wasn't even back at all.
Heck of a shot, Don.
What the heck? That was a good shot. That wasn't back at all.
No.
So now let's talk about walking up on the bull. We knew he was down. We were excited when we saw the horns. Actually, Nina was the one that saw the horns sticking up out of the weeds because
the
I mean,
ferns,
otherwise
yeah.
you couldn't really see him
ferns.
laying down there. Yeah, 80
Right.
yards away only. Turns out it was a collared bull, and we actually had a gentleman from the Game Commission meet us up there whenever we got back to the vehicles, and he actually had a lot of history on this bull that was collared. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Officer Groshek, I believe, Blaine.
Yes.
Was his name. He met us at the gate when we walked out to the gate to put our equipment down. We made phone calls about getting the animal out of there, and he was actually in the area sort of looking for that bull. His wife is a technician for the Game Commission that worked
Yes.
on the elk,
Yep.
and he said he had a history with this bull, and he was actually in the area sort of looking to see if it had been collared and to see if the collar was too tight, too
Yeah.
loose, or whatever. So I got talking to him at length about that, and I really appreciated a follow-up. He sent me pictures of the incident they had with that bull the year before, and apparently it had, well, we had pictures of it. It was got his antlers in a woven fence, and had a.
Yeah.
The Game Commission had been notified, and they went out and they darted it, and also noted that it had a broken leg down around its ankle, sort
Yeah.
of. That was broken.
Yeah.
He had caused some trouble, I guess,
Yeah.
in the past.
Uh-huh.
But he had a video from that bull at a wallow that I guess they had pictures of. So it sort of tied it all together. It was
Yeah.
really, that was neat. The other thing that was very unique was to get that animal out of there.
Yes. Absolutely.
Trophy Rack contacted a horseman. I guess they all referred to him as
Oh,
a
yeah.
horseman.
Yeah.
And he showed up with Archie, and Archie was a big hit to everyone there, and that was amazing.
What did it mean to you to have your family there, you know, surrounding you for this whole experience?
That made it. I mean, I've been on a lot of hunts, and to be able to share, especially a successful hunt, meant so much.
Team effort, baby.
Well, there you have it, folks. Before we wrap up, though, just wanted to send out a quick thank you to Trophy Rack Lodge. Thank you to Jacob for an awesome guided hunt. And Don wanted to throw out a couple of thanks as well.
A couple years ago, the same group, basically Nina, Ethan, and myself. Nina got drawn for an elk tag in Kentucky. We weren't quite as successful down there, and I attribute a lot of that to the way the herd has been managed up here. The logistics of being drawn, how the drawing occurred, the management, the habitat management, is far superior to what we saw down south. We didn't get to see or hear a bull till the last day of a 5-day hunt, and up here we were constantly running into elk. So kudos to the Game Commission, to DCNR, to the Kika. They've done an amazing job up here.
It was an awesome experience. It was a team effort, as Don put it, and that was another successful PA archery bull hunt guided by Trophy Rack Lodge. And thanks again, Don.
My pleasure.